My name is Cody Simmons, and I'm one of the owners of St. Elias Alpine Guides.
I'm Anya Voskresensky, and I am one of the owners and expedition coordinator for St. Elias Alpine Guides.
My name is Brian Kerr, and I am one of the owners at St. Elias Alpine Guides.
Our mission is to empower adventurers to achieve their trip of a lifetime. The beauty of this park is that you can see something really cool over there and say, hey, I want to go check that out. Or, hey, I found this peak on a map, I want to go climb that. We've got the tools to make it happen.
St. Elias Alpine Guides shows anywhere from 8,000 to 10,000 people a year. The park, and that's anything from a mill tour through Kennecott to a mountaineering trip. It kind of runs the whole gamut.
What makes Wrangell-St. Elias National Park special to me would be the lack of infrastructure. It's so big and there's only one road coming in from the west and one road from the north, and otherwise it's just tiny little bush strips and a lack of establishment here. It keeps this place wild and adventurous. You can't just go wherever you want. It's very limited, and that's what I really like.
SEAG, or St. Elias Alpine Guides, has been here since before this place was even a national park. I think we're definitely a staple not just of the community but of this wilderness. From exploring it and gaining many of the first ascents in this park were part of our company mountaineering expeditions back in the day.
St. Elias Alpine Guides has a pretty spectacular legacy in the Wrangles. We've been here since 1978. Over 40 years of climbing and adventuring and running rivers in the park. We haven't been everywhere, but our guides have had the opportunity to pretty much see and do almost everything. And to live up to that kind of reputation and being stewards of the park is a fun standard to hold.
St. Elias Alpine Guides is the longest running business in the McCarthy-Kennecott area, then also the longest running guiding operation here, which means that we just have the most mileage in this park. Our cumulative history here is so vast, and we're able to pass down that generational knowledge to every new guide that comes along, and every new crazy adventure that they go on gets thrown into that company history as well. That's why we consider ourselves the experts in this area.
A lot of things at St. Elias Alpine Guides are kind of orally passed down from one guide to another. A lot of the skills that we use in the mountains you can't read about or totally learn without doing, and so a lot of them are picking up the little nuances of how you make a camp, what kind of rope setup is best, where you want to go on the glacier, and all the tiny little nuances make a huge difference, and that takes a long time for our guides to learn and to hone. It's been really fun to start to understand what I've picked up from other guides, and then how I wanted to start passing that along to newer guides, and what details I think are important for them, what details they need to learn on their own personal trips, what's most critical for them when they're out guiding.
There's no story that comes from a mountain adventure in Alaska that doesn't sound, that little extra extreme or effort. The photos look totally wild and intense. There's, ice hanging everywhere and big faces, with avalanche potential. St. Elias Alpine Guides taught me the world of high altitude climbing. Skiing kind of inevitably ups your toughness level a little bit, and then added the whole world of river and water sports to the arsenal as well. The
more trips you do in the Wrangles, it's dangerous because your list gets longer and longer and longer and longer. And then you do it one time, then you realize that that doesn't need to be just the check the box, one and done. You can go back and do a slightly different version of the exact same trip. And that one trip that for some people might be their end-all be-all trip, you have the opportunity to do multiple times. Wrangell-St. Elias National Park is so special to me because it's so massive and so untouched, and no one is telling you where you need to camp, where you need to hike, what your trip needs to be. Everything is purely your imagination on what you want to do out here.